Flintstones World. Had to take a little break because the world is, it's nuts. And it just seems that we are in the midst of one of the greatest psychological operations in human history. What are psychological operations? Well, most people just think it's lies. But it goes far beyond that. They're operations to convey selected information, whether true or false, and indicators to audiences to influence their emotions, motives, and objective reasoning, and ultimately the behavior of governments, organizations, groups, and individuals. Influence the behavior of governments, influence the behavior of groups, influence the behavior of individuals based on conveyance of selected information, true or false. Could be anything. The Smith-Mundt Act, the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012, basically legalizes propaganda to the American people, not by the Department of Defense, but by any news organization. They are no longer bound to tell you the news. It doesn't have to be true. They are now entertainment organizations. Go ahead and read through this. It's very dry, but the gist of it is they are allowed, we'll go right here. Won't the Defense Department now be at liberty to spread propaganda in the United States? And they'll tell you no. The U.S. Information and Educational Exchange Act of 1948 does not apply to the Defense Department, and neither do the subsequent amendments. But they do apply to the news. So they are allowed to lie to you, and there's no recourse. So let's go back here to psychological operations. Why are those necessary? Well, let's look at their motto. The Army's psychological operations motto is persuade, change, influence. The Air Force's is never seen, always heard. The purpose of United States psychological operations is to induce behavior or reinforce behavior favorable to U.S. objectives. What if the U.S. objective was the Great Reset? What kind of behavior would they try to induce or reinforce? Would they bring in a Trojan horse that would basically Pied Piper all the people that consider themselves patriots and then perpetrate an event that made all of those people out to be domestic terrorists that then have to be canceled? It doesn't fall too far from the plausible tree, does it? This book right here, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, talks about just that. And here's the end goal. That's their end goal. That's what they want to do. And they want to take away everybody's freedoms. And what they're going to do is they're going to get rid of all the quote-unquote patriots or the people that believe in America. They're going to get rid of them. And they're going to keep whoever's left into this one super party. It's not going to be pretty. Psychological warfare got its start during war. That's why they call it warfare, in case you didn't catch on to that. It was basically invented by the OSS, also used heavily by the Nazis. Propaganda was big in the Reich. It never stopped. We kind of co-opted it. Now here's where it gets kind of funny. Everybody's heard of Operation or Project Mockingbird, okay, where the CIA infiltrated or interned into mainstream media in order to disseminate propaganda or psychological operations. Everybody's heard of it. This documents the CNN and NPR interns incident. It says, In 2000, it came to light that soldiers from the 4th Psychological Operations Group had been interning at the American news networks, Cable News Network, CNN, and National Public Radio, NPR, during the late 90s. The program was an attempt to provide its PSYOP personnel with the expertise developed by the private sector under its, quote, training with industry program. The program caused concern about the influence these soldiers might have on American news, and the programs were terminated. Or were they? National Public Radio reported on April 10, 2000, the U.S. Army's Psychological Operations Unit placed interns at CNN and NPR in 1998 and 1999. The placements at CNN were reported in the European press in February of this year, and the program was terminated. The NPR placements will be reported this week in TV Guide. Sure. So either way, we also know that Anderson Cooper was an intern with the CIA. So it's not unheard of to have all of these agencies with a revolving door. So it kind of makes a person wonder, regardless of how you fall on the political scale, it's time to pull back and look with an objective mind. What are they trying to pull? And why are they trying to get everybody to fight with each other? Give it a good think. We're going to be diving down this rabbit hole this week. Let me know in the comments. Later.